Hey everyone, this is A20 and today I'm here with some tips and a review of Refactoro Chaotic Farm. So we're going to dive right into a couple of quick tips to start off your gameplay for this early access game. When coding, you can't make changes to the code during the day, so make sure you have everything you need set up before you click to start the day. If you want to have a task repeated, you need to make sure to put the information within the brackets. Don't place it after or before. And when it comes to buying or selling, whether you're buying energy and hay or you're selling some of the eggs or wool or anything like that you've collected, you also need to do that before you click to start your day. If you run out of hay or energy during the middle of the day, your bots will just stop performing those tasks. Which comes to the next thing, that energy is still consumed even for failed blocks. So if you go to find grass and there's no grass, you have wasted energy. And with that in mind, the forever blocks do not stop when they encounter a null. Alright, let's quickly talk about some fixes and quality of life changes that I'd like to see in the game. Currently, if you place a hay bale in a pen with multiple chickens that are in various hunger states, it doesn't prioritize which chicken will be fed. For example, if I have one hungry chicken and one full chicken, I will program the bot to place one hay bale in the pen. The full chicken might eat the hay bale and not the hungry chicken, and then I'm left with the same problem with no ability to fix it during the day. So I believe that they should change the coding in the game to prioritize hungry chickens being fed over full chickens. Similarly, I think you should be able to assign robots to particular areas or locations. I had 2 robots that were assigned to do the same task, collecting eggs from chickens. I had one set to collect 2 eggs, and I had one set to collect 3 eggs. Unfortunately, they went to the same chickens, resulting in failed blocks, wasted energy, and didn't even collect the whole number of eggs that I was attempting to have collected. But if I had my chickens split up into 2 different pens, so I could have had one collecting eggs from ranch 1 and one collecting eggs from ranch 2, then my problem would have been solved. So those are 2 fixes I would like to see. And now going to the quality of life changes, I would like the ability to be able to speed up the day or skip to the next day. There is a bit of time, since you can't do anything during the day, that it would be nice to be able to fast forward a little bit. I would like to be able to pause time and make changes to the code on the fly, or be able to buy some energy or hay on the fly. It would also be nice if there were optional warnings if you're about to start a day with 0 energy or 0 hay. Because it would save you from wasting an entire day where you're just sitting there watching your bots do nothing. I would like to have the ability to save predefined code. For example, each new level, you're pretty much going to be starting by herding your animals into their pens. It would be nice if I could save that code so I could just quickly drag and drop it for the next level. There should also be the ability to code the bots to repeat something until a null is encountered. So the repeat forever is extremely wasteful in its current state, but if you were able to repeat something until a null is encountered and then it would cease, it would save you so much energy and would be more effective programming. Next, I'd like to discuss the pros for the game. In its current state, it's a very cute aesthetic. The graphics are very nice. In playing the early access version of the game, I did not encounter very many bugs. There was only one small issue that I kept encountering where there would be a failure to execute blocks without a clear reason as to why those weren't executed. For example, not finding grass to clean when there's still grass. However, there were no game-breaking bugs. It wasn't unplayable. It was actually in a pretty polished state, given it is an early access game in this day and age, I should say. There are future plans and kind of a roadmap for the game that's clearly visible. On the current farm, you can see future plots where there's going to be crops. And you can also see at the very end it's bringing in cows next, even though the quests aren't available yet. So you can see that they already have some future plans developed. I also think this is a great concept for a game to introduce automation to the cozy farming sim environment. I just don't think that it's necessarily been executed the best in its current state at this early access state, but I'm hoping that there will make some changes and it will have a much more positive outlook. Now let's talk about the cons for this game. My biggest complaint with the current state of the game is how they have segmented the game into levels. With each level, you have a particular set of quests that you need to accomplish in order to progress to the next level. This has created a short-sighted goal system for the game. There's not really any long-term development for the farm because of the way that this level system works. With each new level, you are given a particular amount of money, a particular amount of energy, a particular amount of hay, and there are caps on each of these things. You are also restricted in the number of bots that you have, as you have no control over that, and there's no development for any of these things. So you are given limited resources, which in general I wouldn't mind, but the trouble is that this resets with every single level. So it's not about developing the farm in general, as is kind of premise to be. It's really about getting through the level and accomplishing these quests. The result is that there's not a lot of motivation to take care of the actual farm as much as there is to just accomplish the specific tasks. For example, why am I going to continue to clean grass up if I've already accomplished that task? My next complaint is that there isn't a real reward or motivation system for progressing. I have completed all the gameplay content available right now, and what have I gained from it? I have no additional cosmetics. I have no improved buildings. I have one additional bot. I don't have any improvements to my bots. I did get sheep, and I can see I'm about to get cows. But, you know, in terms of like actually improving the farm, I'm not really feeling like there's much motivation to continue. And finally, for a game that's premised on automating tasks in a farm to improve efficiency and make a chaotic farm more organized, the current limitations in place regarding energy and money and the game time progression and inventory caps and not having any ability to get more robots, it all prevents players from truly automating any aspect of the game, any current process. I think their biggest concern is going to be how do they keep players playing this game in the long term, because with the current level system restarting everything, even if you've made more money, for example, like I think for the last level it started me out with $4,000. I had more than $4,000 going into that level, but it was a new level, so we're starting off with $4,000. So it's like you have to give players a motivation to stick around and continue developing this farm beyond the immediate level, or it's going to get very boring. So in summary, Refactoro Chaotic Farm was released in early access on May 9th, 2024. It is $12.99 US. I would probably say you have about 2 to 3 hours of gameplay available in the game. Positives, the graphics are quite nice. It's a great concept for a game, and in its current state, it's not super buggy. It's very much playable. For cons, I think that the game really needs to look at what it means to be an automation sim. I think that they also need to look at how are they going to keep players playing this game in the long term. I think in its current state, I probably would pass, but depending on the changes that the developers make, I might give them a chance again down the road. If you found this review helpful, please drop a like on the video, and if you like the content I'm creating, please consider subscribing to the channel.